All right, so are overnight citizenships in high-profile countries like Mexico and Serbia possible? The reason we are discussing this is because there have been some YouTubers who travel different places and they show up with a passport. Almost an overnight process. They didn't have it before, but now suddenly they're flashing all sorts of passports. So I'm getting a lot of inquiries, clients asking about this procedure because sometimes there's nothing in the constitution and then you have all of this. So I wanted to address this in a bit of a detail. Also, I wanted to discuss the fastest possible way to obtain these passports legally, right? You got to keep things legal. It can be fast, but it has to fit within the legal framework, citizenship by exception, etc. We're going to deep dive in some of those topics. We're going to discuss the processing times and a whole lot more. But before we get started, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe so you don't miss out on any latest key developments. A lot of people don't even notice that they are not yet subscribed. They watch the channel every day. Be a part of the community, be notified, stay on top of things. All right, let's take a quick look at the poll because it's not just about me talking, right? We work with attorneys, we have all the authentic information, but this ground level reality, a lot of people actually try these things, and a big part of our setup is the community forum, right? People share their practical experiences on the ground. They sometimes share tips, tricks, and hacks, which are very important. The poll that I had was, we've been receiving several calls regarding this. Some YouTubers claiming to offer immediate Mexican passport by donation. So yes, you have the CBI countries, which you donate some money, 100K, 200K, and you get a quick passport. Can you do the same sort of thing in Mexico? Now, some Western countries, you try to purchase the passport, it could be seen as fraud. You'll go to the jail because there is no such constitutional provisions. There's no such program. The horror stories in Europe where someone was able to purchase a passport, but then now the person who purchased it, they're sitting in jail. Obviously, they lose the money, they lose the passport, but jail time is also something additional that they have to worry about. Now, is it possible to do a quick donation? Irrespective of the amounts, right? We're talking about time here. Just donate some money and then they hand you the passport. It may not be in the constitution, but they still hand you the passport. So those kind of practices are illegal. 82% of the people said it's a scam, nothing in constitution. So a lot of people voted. Approximately 100 people actually participated in this poll, including advanced members. I'm going to focus on the feedback of the legitimate questions of the advanced members. The big thing over here is we're going to mask who is this YouTuber or YouTubers who kind of talk about this stuff, because you never know, right? Someone might have a parent from that country. Maybe they immediately are eligible for that kind of citizenship, and maybe that's the reason why they have their passport. We don't know the specifics, so we don't want to discuss any particular YouTuber or any particular person over here. This is general stuff. Is there an option by donation? If there is, then a lot of people are interested. They're asking about it. Let's find out. Let's investigate. If it is beyond the attorneys, let's check within the community if there is someone with this kind of an option who has done this, who have succeeded, right? We want to have real examples, not just the stuff that we see on YouTube, some practical real life examples. And my comment here was, if legit, any legal or constitutional basis would be worth referencing, right? We aren't talking fraudulently acquired passport through fake documentation, meaning let's say you procure a fake birth certificate or something of that sort. That is fraud. Bribery or corruption. Let's say you pay a government official. Yes, it's a legal process, but they have bypassed their constitution. They have committed fraud or corruption, and that's how they have been able to legally obtain a legal valid passport for you for travel. We're not really getting into any of those kind of discussions. That's pure fraud. Jail is the place where you would eventually land up. And then I also listed the reference to the Wikipedia. Again, there's links to the Constitution. If you understand Spanish, you can directly read the Constitution. I'm going to read our advanced member feedback over here. Not sure how, again, we are masking who managed to get Mexican citizenship. I'm sure he or she didn't stay there for 2 years to get that citizenship. And this is Crypto Nerd, our regular advanced member. Ramal Patel says, yes, he gets citizenships, but doesn't then make a video explaining how he got them. All right. Patience is Alpha says he showed a passport that tells you all. Crypto Nerd says it could be through inside connections. He didn't explain how he got the passport. One of the points that I feel here is YouTubers often flash dummy ones for illustrations. Maybe on the thumbnails you have multiple passports flashing. That doesn't mean that they have all those passports. It's to explain the procedure, it's to explain the country, it's to show the product, right? Sometimes the CPI product. And interestingly, a lot of clients are calling me to just thank me that I've saved them 100 or 200K on a CBI option which they were otherwise considering. They call me and tell me that, how wrong we were and how you predicted this almost a year ago. I have been tracking, monitoring, and providing my feedback and trying to alert the community. And not all Caribbean passports are bad, but a lot of clients calling and thanking me. So you're welcome if you're in that situation. If it saved you some money, if you feel you've done the right decision today and the advice was helpful to you, then that's a good thing, right? Let's move on to the second commenter here. He says they've gotten Mexican and Serbian passports in the last year while traveling extensively. I would love to know how he or she did that. Here again, Rommel says exactly, we see him getting different citizenships, but never explains how neither Serbia or Mexico have an official CBI program. So he must be doing something backdoor to get those citizenships. Again, the point is having something or flashing something doesn't necessarily mean that they have it. If they're claiming that it's legitimate, then maybe they have legitimate basis. Let's say their parent is from that country or some other legal way, right? There could be a legal way they could have obtained it. So we're not accusing them that they have something wrong. The point of discussion here is very important. Is it possible? Overnight citizenships, is it possible? Can you pay a small donation, small fee to someone and then directly obtain the passport? Well, in the Constitution, I haven't personally seen anything like this. We work with attorneys in all these jurisdictions, right? So we have core professionals directly working with immigration authorities. So when you're talking about legal stuff, there is a Constitution. It's not just upon the attorney. It's upon you to read the Constitution as well, right? A lot of our community members follow track, read the Constitutions. They're updated on the dual citizenship. Does it allow? Does it not allow? This stuff is publicly available information. But when you're talking about quickly or overnight donations, then you got to have, if it is illegal and if it is legit, then everyone wants to know that because people are willing to donate monies to obtain a passport, right? If not Caribbean, then they want to obtain some of the passports. If it is a legal process, we are trying to uncover. So there should be some information either with me, with the attorneys, or with community. If someone has done this, then they should be able to volunteer for it. Say, yeah, I have done it. It's legal. This is where it fits. This is how we got it and stuff like that. So this is where it becomes very important. Now, this was an interesting forum. I'm not going to read all the comments here. And if you aren't an advanced member and if you want to participate on some insider discussions, I've just recently updated the latest on the Serbian one-year citizenship rule. If you aren't an advanced member, be a part of the community, the insider community, where we have more core discussions. All right, now let's jump into the meat of this discussion. Is it possible to get the Mexican and Serbian passport immediately? Well, there is a clause called citizenship by exception. Now, Serbia is slightly different. It works differently than Mexico. For citizenship by exception in Serbia, there's some specific circumstances. Well, yes, you can get this passport sooner. The processing times are more comparable to Turkey. It's not overnight, so you can't take money, pay someone, get the passport in return. No, there's no such process. Citizenship by exception is a specific, very specialized process, and we do have attorneys who we work with on this, right, in Serbia. So that takes regular processing times, just like Turkey. You have to be very, very thorough. It has to be in a certain category, and I've covered this extensively as part of my other videos. When it comes to Mexico, yes, there is citizenship by exception. Again, the criteria is pretty narrow. Your contribution should be substantial. It should benefit Mexico. What's more important is that the attorney should be able to clearly articulate and document it. So there are two components to this. One is the attorney's style, the documentation, the lingo, the legal language, the way they're proving stuff. And then there's the reality where this has to be genuine. You got to really set up a business that should have real operations. It should hire real people. It should have some real tangible benefits that you can quantify. Once this is packaged together and presented to the immigration authorities, authorities. It's up to their discretion. It is case by case basis. The only thing legally that you can do over here is have a good attorney who has done this before, so your chances are better than someone who's making mistakes on your applications. You absolutely can't afford to make any mistakes or have any deficiencies if you're looking for an approval on anything like this. Again, approvals are not guaranteed. It is a hit or a miss. In Mexico, this process takes 2 years legally. Again, stay away from anything unconstitutional or illegal or something that gets you overnight, something that sounds too good to be true. Always check with your legal authorities to see if there's anything like this. Someone finds out, then you are in deep trouble if you have done anything incorrectly. Alright, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and catch you in the next one.